Hello, everyone, and welcome to our session for our first virtual LCAM on social media, MyEWI community, and our new Mentor Match program. I'd like to thank all of you for joining us today. My name is Courtney Eide. I'm the Corporate Office Manager and Executive Assistant to the Corporate Board of Directors. It is my pleasure to have all of you with us today. And I want to thank you guys for tuning in. We have some education to share with you about social media as it pertains to EWI and helping your chapters succeed in the year ahead. I'm going to take you through our new MyEWI online community and then also show you how to sign up to be a mentor or a mentee with a new feature on the MyEWI community called Mentor Match. So we will get started here with social media. And today what I really want to do is just have a really candid conversation with everybody who is listening in to this presentation. So social media has been all the rage the last probably 10 to 12 years. And a lot of times from what I'm hearing in our membership, there's some confusion about the benefits of social media, what is social media, why should I be on social media, and really what does it do for our chapters? Like what do we accomplish by being out on social media applications and websites, and what is the benefit for us at the chapter level for participating? So today what I wanted to do is just define what social media is. It is so mainstream now, and there are so many people that are on different sites and applications that sometimes I think we lose sight of really what's the definition of it. So according to Wikipedia, social media is defined as websites and applications that enable users to create and share content or to participate in social networking. So what I really like about this definition is that it allows people to participate in social networking. And since one of our 3 tenets is about connections, I directly relay that back to social networking. Social media just basically gives us the platform to connect with people that we never probably would have ever connected with because we have a technological interface that allows us to do so. So what I'm going to do today is just share with you a little bit about the sites that EWI at the corporate level is participating on, what we've been researching, and then give you some resources for you to do some further research on, some reading, and some statistics that you can share with perhaps your communications committee, your chapter board at your retreat coming up this fall. Or perhaps you might want to share this with your members so they can see why your chapter needs to be out on social media if you are not currently doing it at a very high level. So first, Facebook. So EWI Corporate has been on Facebook for quite some time. We've learned as we've gone down the road with Facebook that their software and their websites continue to evolve very quickly. They allow us to do many things, namely connecting with all of you, having you like our Facebook page, engaging with us on our posts, and sharing what we're sharing with you through this platform. So if you have not liked the EWI corporate Facebook page, I have attached the link here for you, and you can go out and like our page and begin to interact with us on Facebook. We also encourage you to share our posts with people who maybe are interested in coming to a chapter meeting or they've asked you about EWI. Have them like our page as well, and then they'll get a feel for what we're doing at the corporate level. Here is just a preview shot of what the Facebook page looks like currently. We will be updating the Facebook page with some imagery for the upcoming board year, and updating our events and our webinars and some of the other things that we're going to be doing in the year to come. But right now, this is what our page looks like. Facebook has recently updated the look and feel of business pages. So this is the new look that they have. I find it to be a lot of information in a very small space, but they're also trying to make it very user-friendly in their mobile interface as well, if you're looking at it on a phone or a tablet. So you'll see that we have a lot of our information up here. You can send us an email directly through the site. We have our photos, our events, our LCAM annual meeting will be live streaming on Saturday. So you'll be able to see that right here on our page as well. And then we also have our posts and our likes and everybody out here that is interacting with our page. So what I would say about Facebook is that the ability to tag people that you know is a really great feature, because it shows everybody that you are active, you're participating in an organization, and they'll see that you're participating frequently if you're taking photos at events or at chapter meetings. If you're participating even on a conference call and you create an event around that and tag people in your chapters, that shares your EWI participation with other people in your network. So from that perspective, we encourage every chapter to have a Facebook page. What's very important is that you're using the EWI chapter logos, which are available for you out on MyEWI. We want all chapters to have consistent branding. We also have a style guide and a text guide available for you as well that you can reference out on MyEWI, which will share with you our color schemes, our graphics, and anything else that you may need. If you can't find it, please email me and I'll be happy to send it along to you for your reference as you plan for next year's social media presence for your chapter. So next, we're going to talk a little bit about Instagram. So you'll notice that we have our Instagram website here on the page. If you are a participant on Instagram, we encourage you to go out and follow our page on Instagram. Oftentimes we post messages about programs that are coming up, holidays, celebrations, our scholarships, photos from our events. We also like to regram sometimes what's happening in other chapters. So it's a great way for you to see what's happening in your sister cities. And maybe that will spark some creativity or an idea about what you could be doing in your city as well. So our Instagram feed looks a little like this. It's very simple, being that it's on my desktop versus on my phone to show you. But you can see here, these are some of the announcements that we've made on Instagram this year for scholarship and for our new mobile app for LCAM. Next is Twitter. This is our Twitter feed for this year. Please go out and follow us on Twitter. We do use a service through our graphic designer, which allows us to post in multiple social media applications and websites. So a lot of times we'll post on Facebook and Instagram, and it will automatically tweet out on Twitter what we posted. There's a service called Hootsuite that allows us to do that if we're pre-planning our content. But Twitter is a great way to get short snippets of information out to the people who follow your organization or your chapter about what your chapter is doing. So perhaps you've updated your website, or you have a blog and you want to shoot out that post to your followers. You just link your site out to a Twitter post and tweet it out. And it's a great, quick, easy way to let people know that you've just posted something on your website. So as I was preparing this presentation for all of you, I went out and I created a tweet, and you can see it right here on the screen. We wanted to make sure that we showed everyone our ability to have some hashtags around our LCAM events. So you'll see our LCAM 2020, our EWI Corp, our Executive of Women International hashtags are all here, along with our 3 C's, some of the verbiage that we've used for the year, and then obviously the people that we're targeting with our tweets. Keeping in mind that Twitter feeds are sometimes not controllable. Depending on who we're following and who's following us, sometimes things pop up in your Twitter feed that are not always things that you want to be seeing. So I always say Twitter is like the wild jungle. You never know what you're going to find in your feed. However, we always try to encourage all of our Twitter posts to be positive and engaging and a good representation of what EWI is all about. So Twitter is really great because there's a lot of business professionals that use Twitter as well. So people who are looking for quick information tend to go to Twitter and follow those that they like to be involved and engaged with. All right, our fourth social media site is LinkedIn. You'll see our LinkedIn page posted here as well. LinkedIn is kind of like the social media site for business professionals. And what I would say about LinkedIn is that it's one of those sites where if you're in business and you're not on it, you should be. LinkedIn is a great way to represent yourself professionally to your peers, your business network, your colleagues, your vendors, the people that you do business with each and every day. So I would encourage you, if you're not on LinkedIn, to definitely go out and fill out a profile. And then while you're out there, connect with EWI so you can find out what we're going to be doing in the year ahead. Here is just a screen capture of our LinkedIn page. You'll notice that our branding is consistent across all of our platforms and our messaging is the same. EWI on LinkedIn is not as followed as we would like it to be. We would really like this year to get as many members as we have on LinkedIn liking our corporate LinkedIn page. So please go out and follow this page and help us spread the word in your communities about what we're doing at both the corporate level and at the local level. LinkedIn also gives us the ability to connect with a lot of the people that we do business with. So you'll find a lot of our previous speakers are connected to us out here. If your chapter's ever looking for a speaker, you can see who we're connected to, and you may want to reach out to them and connect as well. EWI is also a great way for us to tell our story professionally to our member firms and to our executives. So if your executives are on LinkedIn, we would love for them to follow us as well. And we would also like to be able to share more information about our chapters and our firms on our LinkedIn page. So we're hoping in the year ahead to be able to profile more information from our chapters and share it on a wider scope with our LinkedIn page at the corporate level. And then our last social media site that we use and post information to is YouTube. We do have an EWI corporate YouTube page that we post videos to that we produce. Last year at LCAM, we had some testimonial videos done by board members and executive and many of our members that were present at LCAM. They're wonderful assets that can be used by the chapters to share the EWI story with somebody who may be a prospective member, or maybe you want to send it to your executive just to say thank you, and this is what EWI means to our members. Videos are a great tool out on social media to tell the EWI story. So anything that is posted out on our corporate YouTube channel is welcomed to be shared on your chapter Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn pages, and share the story that we are trying to help you create through these means. What we're going to be doing in the year ahead as well on YouTube is trying to use YouTube and video messaging at a higher level to help us tell our story. We would encourage you as well to use YouTube. We have had a lot of fun playing with video this year and learning how to tell our stories and how to use our voices in a larger way. Video is definitely much more engaging with prospective members and current members to tell our stories so people can hear how excited we are about what we're doing and what we're representing. So if you're out on YouTube, please give us a subscribe on our channel so you can see what we're going to be doing in the year ahead and you can follow along with us. All right, so now that we've shown you where we're located on social media, I just want to talk a little bit about why we should use it. So I've posted here 4 articles, and I'm not going to go through each and every one of the articles because they're pretty lengthy and there's a lot of really good information in them, but they are linked, and this is a PowerPoint. So I'm going to post in the app. If you go into the app after you're done watching this, there will be the PowerPoint slides for this presentation and you'll be able to link out to these articles. But just talking a little bit about social media, as I was researching for this project and this presentation for everybody, I kept asking myself, like, what is the reason why we don't see as much engagement on social media as maybe we'd like to see? And I think it's a relevant question, even when we look at our chapters and all of us as volunteers doing what we're doing, is to say, well, why do we want to use it? So I was looking for key takeaways, like what are the things that we really need to know about social media and why we should be on it? So a couple of those things. One, it works. So social media works. It helps us tell our stories. It helps us to paint the picture of what we're about. It shows that we're organized, that we are like posting things routinely, we're consistent, we're focused about how we want to operate and run our chapters, and we're doing that publicly on a social media website. The second thing, everyone that you know is on at least one of the platforms or apps that I mentioned. So if you're targeting a certain demographic of people, or there's people that you know that are maybe not on one, but they're on another, you still have the same opportunity to reach those people if you're posting on all of the sites. Third, being on social media equals relevance. If you look at most businesses these days, if they do not have a social media presence and they simply just have an outdated website, or they're still just using the yellow pages with a phone number, many people may not know how to find them. They may not even know that they exist. Right now, according to statistics from 2019, more people go to a social media website to get information before they even Google the business's website. They look for them first on a social media app. So being on social media means that you're relevant, that you're current, that you're with it, that you've got a plan, that you're in the place where you know your users or your members or the people you're targeting are looking for something that you can offer them. And then the fourth thing, fastest way to brand your business or your chapter from anywhere. So a couple things in that statement. One, super quick and efficient. You can be anywhere to update. So you can have multiple people able to update your content. And I think that's really what I love the most about social media and why it's really good for all of our chapters is that, one, we're all busy professionals. 2, we're all volunteers. 3, sometimes we need people to help out. And social media allows us to do that from our phones or from our tablets or from our desktops. We can basically do anything on social media from any technological device with anybody having access to do so. So what that tells me is we really don't have any reason not to be on social media because the work can be divided up and everybody can have a part in seeing whatever strategy you want to deliver be implemented and have somebody be assigned to do it. So I would challenge all of our chapters who are listening this upcoming year to say, what do we want to do this year? Maybe we don't do everything, but maybe we do a couple things and we decide that we're going to do them really well. Well, what does really well look like? Can we define what that looks like? Well, if we can define what that looks like, great. Now who's going to do it? Like, do we have a couple of volunteers in our chapter that might want to serve on a social media committee where maybe, you know, a certain person takes Facebook, a certain person takes Instagram, and a certain person takes LinkedIn. And maybe that's all you do this year, and that's totally okay. But give it a try. I would say the biggest challenge you have is yourself in not trying, because maybe it's something you're just not familiar with. Well, that's the other blessing of EWI. We always have room to grow here, and we always have ample opportunity to put ourselves in a position to learn something new, where failure is okay, and we always learn through it. So for this year, what I would say is read these articles once you go back and look at the resource document, and then figure out what your plan is going to be this year. We would love to see more of our chapters out on social media to be able to feature you on the national platforms that we have and to share more about what you're doing in your communities. I wanted to share with you just some statistics from last year. So, you know, we're talking about EWI and our chapters and where we're at right now. But on a larger scale, this is like global population and where people are relative to social media usage. So if you look at the population of the world, 7.6 billion people, with 56% of that population being urbanized, having access to technology, devices, and ways to connect to social media and the internet. And then you have 5.1 billion individual unique mobile users. So that's quite a bit of the population having their own individual unique mobile device. 4.3 billion people are able to access the internet. And then you have 3.5 roughly billion people active on social media. So that's roughly a little less than half of the world's population is on social media. And 3.2 billion of those people are on a mobile device while they're accessing the internet. So similar to what we just covered, it seems that we have a huge opportunity to reach people on their mobile devices that are connected on social media or the internet. So it's just something to think about as you strategize about who can we really reach about what we're doing here in our chapter, and who do we want to reach and how do we want to reach them. This is just some really good food for thought about how many people across our planet are connected through technology. And then social media by the numbers. So one of the things about the 5 sites that we shared with you at the beginning of the presentation were that those were the 5 sites that we've chosen for EWI to be present and relevant on. The stats that I have shared with you here are monthly active users as of July of last year, so about a year ago. This is how many people are active on each of these apps on social media each and every month. So Facebook is 2.4 billion people, YouTube is 2 billion, WhatsApp is 1.6 billion, Instagram is 1 billion, and Twitter is 330 million. So when I looked at that, I was like, holy moly's, if there's 7.6 billion people on the planet and 2.4 billion people are on Facebook, like a little more than a third of the world's population is on Facebook. I just feel like that is just an amazing statistic. But it does give you a little bit of an idea of where users are spending their time and where they're logged in and where they're actually participating on a monthly basis. And then fun statistic on the right side here. Even more striking is what happens in a social media minute. So if you think about what happens in 60 seconds on any of these platforms, 41.6 million messages are sent over Facebook Messenger and WhatsApp. Like almost 350,000 people are scrolling Instagram. 87,500 people are posting to Twitter per minute. And then 4.5 million videos on YouTube are being watched every minute. I just find that to be just like not even comprehensible. So lots and lots of activity on social media. And then the question becomes, where will EWI in your chapter be in all of that activity? So as it pertains to the EWI social media strategy and what you can think about as far as content and posting on your chapter's social media, here's a couple questions that you can be asking. This past year, we asked this in the Corporate Connect and out on our social media channels, because we'd like to share what our members like and know and want to share with other people. So we decided to go with, what's your favorite? So this past year, we asked what your favorite podcasts were and why you like them, what your favorite business book and author was and what you've learned from reading them. What are your favorite quotes or your favorite author and what does that mean to you? And then what's your favorite business blog or article and what did it teach you? So these are questions that get your users and your participants and your followers thinking about, and then it gets them to engage. It gets them to share something personal about themselves with you, so you get a little bit of an insight into them, and they get to share a little bit about them. It starts a dialogue electronically over social means where you can follow up with that person afterwards. Be like, hey, I'd like to learn a little bit more about what you thought about that book. Would you mind maybe setting up a 20-minute Zoom call with me so we can get to know each other and I can share with you mine? That might sound a little far-fetched, but in today's digital age with what we're dealing with this past year with having a lot more virtual meetings, that might be a great way for you to connect with people who are commenting on your social media and sharing a little bit more about how we do things in EWI. This question does still have relevance for us at the corporate level as well. So if you'd like to contribute to any of these questions, please feel free to email them in to me and we'll use them in some future social media posts on the corporate channels. Likewise, if you have news to share, ask your members to share their news with you. Your corporate connect is for us to share news with you guys, but we would love to hear more about what's happening in your chapters and with your members and your member firms. So what I would say is, if you have news to share, it's a great way for us to connect what's happening at the local chapter levels with other chapters and other firms across our organization by highlighting them on our social feeds as well. So if you have any of the following things that you'd like to share, please feel free to email them in to us and we'd be happy to share them on the corporate social media channels. Obviously, anytime your members are in the media or in the news or they've received an award or any of your representatives are being honored, we would love to share that information. The other thing too that you might want to think about profiling on social media is member profiles and testimonials. If you have members that maybe have received a testimonial and you'd like to highlight that, don't be afraid to brag on your members. That's part of our mission in promoting our member firms. We want to give them praise. And then lastly, chapter events and fundraisers. Anytime you have an event, whether it's a chapter meeting or maybe it's a board meeting or it's a committee meeting, a fundraiser, place those events out on your social media. If people know that your chapter is active and you have events going on all the time, they'll tune in and start to see like when's their next event. They're not always going to go to your website to find the information they're looking for. They will check your social media channels to find out if you're active and if you have a way to get involved and engaged. All right. So if you have any questions on what we've covered with social media, please feel free to drop me an email at Courtney@EWIConnect.com. I'd be happy to share any of our sources for this presentation with you or help talk you through a strategy or a content calendar or a schedule for your chapter to help you organize your social media in the year to come. All right, so we're going to transition now to MyEWI online community. What we want to share today with you about the MyEWI online community is obviously some of the features and benefits that are available to you as an EWI member, but also the capabilities for you to connect with fellow members. I've got some highlights in the PowerPoint presentation we're going through today. We're also going to log on and I'm going to drive here on my desktop to kind of show you where some of the things are on the website. And then I'm going to encourage you to connect and get out there and fill out your profile and make some connections with fellow members across the organization. Some very top line highlights about what our online community allows you to do as a member are highlighted here. So first and foremost, the member directory. One of the biggest assets of joining EWI is the ability to access the member directory. We have 38 chapters across the United States and Canada that fall into business categories from agriculture all the way to zoology. So if you have a need and you're going to a city where we have a chapter, the member directory is the best way for you to have access to who to contact in those chapter cities, to find out information, to help with a dinner reservation, to help with a hotel reservation, to find out what to do in that city. It could be anything. Your EWI fellow chapter members are always standing by ready to help you with whatever you need. Secondarily, documents and resources. From a chapter management perspective, if you're the chair of a committee or a board member, oftentimes you need access to documents and resources that we store out on the EWI website. So you'll find those out here on MyEWI. Online payments. You can pay your membership renewal online through your profile on MyEWI. So I will show you how to do that as well. Your member profile. So many times when I say, please make sure to go out and update your profile, I hear crickets. And I know that's because everybody's super, super busy. But I want to tell you, if your member profile is filled out with your photograph, your contact information, where you work, your experience, that opens many, many doors for members when they're looking for people just like you to help them solve their problems. I can't tell you how much activity we get usually after we have LCAM. And I'm so sad we're not all together this year. But usually after LCAM, everybody goes out and updates their profiles with their pictures because they're trying to find the people that they met at LCAM face-to-face. They want to associate names and faces with each other, and they can't do that if we don't upload our photos into our profiles. So that's one must do as a result of this session today, is please go out and upload your photos. And then obviously the membership community. So at large, MyEWI is our online community. So if you think about all of our members, all of our chapters, all of the people in our organization, MyEWI is that one central hub where we all exist together. So if you need something, or you need to find somebody, or you have an idea, or you have a question, the MyEWI online community is the place to go to ask that question, to make that inquiry, to look for that information. So let's take a look inside the system to see how things are organized for you. All right, so the EWI member login. So to log into the homepage, you're gonna go to ewiConnect.com, and then where the yellow arrow is pointing, the MyEWI community login is right here. So you're gonna click here, and then it's going to take you to the login page. This will be the page that you see, and it'll ask you to click the member login. Now, when you get to the member login, you're going to use your EWI credentials to log into the site. That's going to be your work email address and the password that you selected when you were sent your welcome email when you joined the organization. If you do not have credentials, you can send me an email, and I will send you the reset email that will allow you to create your credentials and log into the site. So once you log in, you will see that page that I just showed you. And these are the menu bar options that are all at the top. You have the main menu bar. We have events, a directory search, libraries and resources, our mentor match program, which I'm going to go into shortly, and then our communities. So it's time for me to show you a little bit about what the site does. So let's take a look. So on our homepage, you will see that we have many ways to get involved. First and foremost is our communities. The way the site is set up is personalized experience based on your login. So there may be times where you're a part of a community because you're serving as a chapter president, or you're serving as the LCAM committee member. You may be put into communities out here based on your service to the organization because you need to be a part of those conversations. You may also have an interest in one of the communities just based on the subject matter that's going to be discussed in it, where you can join a community just because you're interested. So if you click on all communities, you'll see all of the different communities that we have available. So all you have to do to join one is click on the title, and then there'll be a join button and you can join it. But right now, these are the communities that we have available here, and you are welcome to participate in them and share information as you see fit. Second, our membership directory. So I have played with the member directory quite a bit, and I find the easiest way to find a member is just to type in their first name. So I'm going to type in Sarah and see what populates. So we have a couple of Sarahs. We have a collegiate Sarah here, and then we have a couple of Sarahs that work at member firms across the organization. So I find that it's the easiest way to find people, just typing in their first name and then they populate. You can send them a direct message. Hang on, I'm gonna go back. You can send them a direct message right through the site, and you can send them a contact request. So if you know that you have certain people that you want to talk to frequently throughout the year, you might want to send them a contact request, and then they'll show up in your contacts, and I'll show you where that's located. So we're going to go over to our events tab now. So for events, anything that's happening at the corporate level that we feel is important for our members to know about, we always post the events here on this page. So you'll see LCAM is listed here. Our next events are our professional development webinar series. So you will always find the call-in information out here under events. I know sometimes when we publish them in the EWI Connect newsletter, those will get misplaced in your inbox, and people oftentimes are wondering where that information is. They are always out here under MyEWI under events. So you'll see we have all of our webinars planned through January of 2021. Any upcoming committee calls or financial calls or leadership calls will also be published here in events for everybody this upcoming year. So you can always go out here to find the information on anything related to corporate events and phone calls. Our resource library is listed here. We have a couple of different libraries to call your attention to. One is just the general library. This is where you'll find resources and documents based on different topics. So let's say you missed out on the monthly chapter leadership call recording for August. If you were to click here, you would see all of the call recordings and all of the presentation slides for those calls listed here. And then you can just click on them and listen to the recording or access the PowerPoint slides. All of the other subjects that are listed here are based on topics that are very familiar in EWI, where we post documents or policies for your easy reference. Resources, we have created a resource library for EWI chapter newsletters. So you can easily go out and post your chapter's newsletters to share with other chapters out here. So if you log in and you just go out here, you just click on 2020 and then you click on new, and it'll take you through the upload protocol to upload your file in your document. And then we just ask that you name it your chapter, EWI of, and then the month, and then the connect for that year. And then EWI Growth Zone resources. So for those who have been members for quite some time, we have been with a association management company called Growth Zone for quite some time. And they were our database for storing older documents. So if you click on here and log back into the site like I did, you'll see all of our archive documents, and they're all filed by topic for different things that we've done in the past. So these are our archive documents. Many times I'll get a request for something that's older than this current year, and this is where I will direct you to find what you're looking for. And then to click back to the main community, you just click MyEWI Online Community and it'll take you back to that. So that's resources. Also participating. So you can post a message or share a file. So let's say you had a really good fundraiser and you want to share the document for that fundraiser. You can share a file out here and then put it in a library, in a discussion post in a community. So I would encourage you to go out and post a message or share a file by clicking on these links. All right. And then the last thing I want to show you how to do is to pay your invoice. So every month on the first of the month, we do email an invoice to all of our renewing representatives. It gets sent out of our database. And if you'd like to pay that invoice, on the invoice, there is a link that says pay online, where it'll take you directly to the website to do that. But if, let's say, you forget to do that and you're like, oh, I got to go out and pay my invoice, all you have to do is log into the site and then click pay your invoice. It will take you to your payment profile screen and all of your billing information under the billing tab. So you'll see if you have a balance here. You'll see if you have an open invoice here. And then anything that is scheduled or upcoming for you will also show here. If there is an open invoice, you will click the pay button. It'll open a pay window, and then you can enter your credit card or your banking ACH information to submit the payment. So I'm going to take us back to the home page here because we're going to be back on the site momentarily. I'm just going to switch back to my PowerPoint here. And we're going to transition to the Mentor Match program. So we know that this program is kind of a late breaking news addition to the 2019-2020 board year. We launched this program back at the beginning of August, and it is able to accept mentors and mentees right now out on the MyEWI online community. A couple features about Mentor Match and why we started this program was we really wanted to provide an opportunity for members across EWI, including our EWI collegiate members at the University of Missouri, Columbia, and the University of Mississippi at Ole Miss in Oxford, to be able to receive mentorship and for our more seasoned, experienced members to be able to share their expertise with others. Mentoring is a really special, unique relationship, and anybody who has had a mentor in their career or in their sports career has always benefited from having somebody who's been able to share with them their knowledge and help guide them through challenges and problems in their lives. So we felt it was really important to bring this type of capability to EWI and allow an opportunity for this to happen across our organization. So the Mentor Match program is a new membership benefit. So as you're prospecting new members or you're retaining members that you have, it's going to be really important to share with them that they now have a mentoring program they can participate in through EWI. There is no cost to participate in the program. Like I said, it is a membership benefit. It's free to participate in the program. It's just a way for all of us to come together and help each other through our careers. It's a great way to connect with other members to share your expertise. So if you are very experienced at something specific, we'll want you to note that when you apply to be a mentor so that people looking for that skill and expertise can find it. You can communicate in this program in many different ways. You set the tone with the person that you're receiving mentorship from or the person that you're mentoring. And then you choose how long you want to participate. Maybe some things are freeing up in your schedule right now where you're like, I could mentor somebody for probably 6 months to a year because I've got the time to do that now. Or maybe now is not a good time, but maybe in a year you will be able to. The program is completely flexible and allows you to have a relationship with another member based on your time and when you're available. So let's show you how to sign up for the program. I shared a couple of mentoring images here, and I always like humor to explain different things. And I really liked this image as it pertains to EWI. So what is mentoring? Well, what community do we want to be? And I really like this quote: new folks can't be expected to just know something. So when you think about, the relationships you have with new members, old members, young members, people who have been in EWI a super long time, think about that. Like, what are we doing to make sure all of our new people know as much as we do as people who are more seasoned? Mentoring is a great way to do that. And then I really like this infographic over here, and I really love this image of somebody giving somebody a step up, helping them move to the next step of where they want to go. So these images are in the PowerPoint. You're welcome to use them. But I really like how this is illustrated and what mentoring can do and teach others from dedicating some time and expertise to help them. So the Mentor Match program, I'm going to take you through the instructions, and then I'm going to show you how to do it out on the site. So first you have to start. The first step is going out and completing your profile. I know I mentioned that before, and that's why it's important, because to participate in some of the things we're offering, that profile really does need to be complete. You want to make sure your contact information is up to date, add a recent professional profile picture, expand on your bio, and import your education and job history information. There are prompts out there where you can fill in that information. Having a complete and accurate profile is crucial to the success of selection and matching mentors and mentees. Second, you want to enroll. So are you looking to be a mentor or a mentee? Maybe both. So you can enroll as both a mentor and as a mentee. You can make selections for each of the program demographics to set your preferences. You might want to look for a specific topic, or maybe you can only communicate in a certain venue. Maybe you're at a certain stage of your career where you need to talk to somebody who's either more senior than you are, or maybe you're looking to mentor somebody who's just starting out in the same career. And then enter your start and end dates. Please note that some of the fields are required for enrollment. So if you choose not to fill everything out, it may take you to the end and then tell you you need to complete all of the required fields. And then in order to request a mentor or a mentee, you need to be enrolled in the program. So again, a complete profile and filling out all of the prompts for information is vital. Searching. So after you enroll, you're going to go to the mentor program directory and input your search criteria. So you'll start by selecting the topics of interest, which include those that are listed here. You can also take advantage of features to help you find and recruit matches. So you can track your mentoring relationships that you have over time. You can participate in discussion forums on mentoring topics, and then search for helpful mentoring resources and share those with the people that you're working with through the program. And then you connect. Congratulations, you're all set. So if you do the first 3 steps, you're now ready to have the fun stuff that comes along with mentoring and being a mentee. You'll want to do a search or 2 to kind of get a feel for the system. Because the program is new, there's not a lot of mentors and mentees out there yet. But as we get more people into the program and more people willing to step up to mentor or be a mentee, there will be more people that you'll be able to connect with through the program. And then the program directory will do all the work for you to populate the results based on what you're looking for. So if you put your criteria in, it will populate the results. And then next, you'll click on a member's name that you're interested in establishing the relationship with. They will take you to their profile page. You'll look around, see if it's really what you were looking for. And then if you would like to connect with them, you'll just click on that. And then if it's not a desired match, you'll select the back button to return to your previous search results. So it's a pretty quick and easy way to connect with people across the organization that are looking to be mentored or looking for somebody that they can help in their career path as well. So what we're going to do is I'm going to take you out to the website. All right, so we're going to go out here to Mentor Match, and I've got a couple of tabs open here. So here is the page that allows you to ask and answer questions that you may have about the program. A lot of this is stuff that I just covered, but if you ever have questions, you can come back out here to ask these questions of yourself and find the answers. So if you want to enroll as a mentor, you're going to go to Mentor Match here and click on Enroll as a Mentor. And then here are all of the instructions. So if I was going to enroll as a mentor, these are the mentoring topics that I really enjoy talking about. These are my specialties, my career stage, and how I would like to mentor. So any of these things would be okay with me. I'm fine with calls, texts, emails, conference calls, video conferencing. And then what I would do is I would pick a start date. So let's say I want to start on the 20th of September. And let's say I'm good mentoring somebody until the end of March next year. I am going to accept mentees. So I'm going to leave this blank, and I can take up to 2 at a time. And then I'm going to hit save. And it will tell you that your enrollment was saved successfully, and now I should be listed as a mentor. Likewise, you would do the same thing as a mentee. You would go through and add your mentoring topics here, add your specialties, add the career stage that you're at, how you'd like to communicate with that mentor, when you're available to be menteed or mentored, sorry. And then click save, and it'll let you know what your profile is. And then last but not least, there's the mentoring directory. So let's say I was looking for somebody in finance and bookkeeping, in senior management, and I wanted to be able to email them. I would click this, and it would tell me there's nobody in that right now that would allow me to mentor them. So I could go and I could find a mentee, and let's say they were looking for HR and they were middle management, and that's all I wanted to see. Again, there's nobody there. So I'm showing you what it'll do if things don't work out. You'll have to go back and adjust your search criteria to find who you're looking for. If we are able to get mentors and mentees populated in larger numbers, more people will populate, and then we'll be able to make more of those connections. So we're really looking forward to seeing where this program will take us as we move forward. If you have more questions on the program, feel free to reach out, or you can go out and again, go to the Mentor Match FAQ page for more information and to learn how to sign up. With that, I am going to switch to my Q&A slide. I want to thank everybody for being with us today. And if I can answer any of the questions on what we covered today, please feel free to shoot me an email at Courtney@EWIConnect.com, and I will get back to you as soon as we're back in the office from LCAM. Thank you so much for joining us, and enjoy the rest of today's presentation. Next up is EWI 101, all about EWI and everything you need to know about the organization. We will see you then. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.